Now that you got your Commodore 64 Ultimate, what are you going to do now? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these disks and I'm going to back them up. Yeah, did you know that inside this computer, you can put a little micro SD card in it? All you have to do is open it up and slip it in. Oh, don't forget to turn the power off. I better turn that power off. Don't want to blow anything up. Now let's do this. Now it's time to hook up the disk drive. Don't forget the power. Now you have to tell the computer to use this drive, otherwise it's going to use a virtual drive that's inside the computer. So all you have to do is go to the menu, hit the Commodore and the restore button, and then go to built-in drive A, and we're going to disable it. So you're going to hit return, go up to disabled, enter, and then the shift and the cursor. Save. Now that we saved it, control cursor again. Now we're back here. Let's load up a game. I'm gonna load Apocalypse now. Put the disc in. LOAD. Now we wait, like forever. It takes a long time. That drive's slow, but I need to know if it works. Yay! It works. Anyway, let's copy it. Now, this game is not copy protected, so we can do it on the computer. First thing we're going to do is take our unprotected disk and put it in the drive. Once you have the disk in, hit the Commodore key and restore. Go to the file browser. Choose the SD card. Now hit F1. Go down to UltiCopy. Hit return. Drive 8, because that's where this is. It wants to know what you want to name the disk. This is the name that's already on the disk. Or, I can take this disk and name it what I want to name it. A. Alright, that's my game. What I have to do is go down to drive A. Now I enable it. That means I have to turn off the power of my drive. And then go back, save it, and go up to the top, back to the file browser, go to SD card, and then you can go to run disk. Well, how about that? We got it to work. Now let's try copying something with copy protection. Like aliens. Ooh, back in the day, we used to use copy to 64 128, or we would use Fast Hack'em, because Fast Hack'em had a little nibbler, and it nibble the little tiny bits, and it would copy better. But we're not going to use any of that today. We're going to use Maverick. Why Maverick? Because Maverick works better with this system. See, these other copiers, you have to boot from drive 8. And Maverick, you can boot off drive 9 or 10. Makes it easier when you're copying. So I'll put the download link up there. Oh, don't hit your head. So go download the Maverick, and then we're gonna get this thing copied here. I saved my Maverick files on this thumb drive. I'm gonna put it in my USB right there. Now, to load it.
To do this, hold down the Commodore and the restore key at the same time. From here, use the cursor keys to choose the disk file browser. You remember when we put that little tiny micro SD card in your computer? We're going to access that by selecting SD card, even though it doesn't say micro SD card. Let's go ahead and enter this micro SD card, see what's on it. Oh look, there's that game that we just copied called Apocalypse Now. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit F1, but this time we're not going to use the UltiCopy. This time we're going to create a blank disk on this SD card. So hit create. In this pop-up box, the computer is asking you what type of blank disk image do you want to make. Well, let me explain these disk images for a little bit before you choose. I like to think of disk images like different types of containers. Imagine having different kinds of containers to store your stuff. Some are simple boxes, easy to use. Some are exact replicas, every scratch and sticker included. Some are bigger boxes, they hold more stuff. That's basically what the disk image types are. A D64 image is the normal box. This is the most common disk image. It's like a clean, simple copy of a floppy disk. It works great for most games and programs. Think, just the stuff on the disk, nothing fancy. A G64 image is the exact replica. This disk image includes every detail of the original floppy disk, scratches, stickers, you name it. Think of it as visually identical to the original floppy disk. And just like the D64 and G64 images, the D71 and G71 are about the same. They're just larger disks. The D71 is the clean copy, and the G71 is the exact copy. A D81 is a disk image for a 3.5-inch Commodore 1581 disk. It holds about 800 kilobytes. It uses 80 tracks, normally. Now the D81TR, all that means is the disk is using one extra track beyond its normal 80 tracks. Gives it a little extra space, you know. A DNP image is basically a hard drive style container. It can store way more data than a normal floppy disk image. Well, anywho, for now we're just going to attach this D64 image and see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll attach a G64 and copy it again. We're going to name our blank disk Aliens, because that's the disk that we're copying. There you go. Now you can see our empty disk image down below, labeled Aliens. What we got to do now is we need to mount that onto a drive. That's like putting a disk in a drive, but virtually. We're going to mount this disk on drive B, which drive letter is 9. It's just like putting a real disk in a real drive, but virtually. After mounting the drive, by default, it kicks you into the Commodore home screen. Well, we're going to hit the Commodore and the restore key and go back in there. Once we're back in there, use the shift and cursor key to find our thumb drive that we installed Maverick on. I'm going to load Maverick version 5, side 1. From here, you can mount the disk or run the disk. I'm going to run the disk, which is kind of cool because I don't have to type in load star, comma 8, comma 1 and all that other malarkey. Once Maverick is loaded, we're going to use the GCR nibble copier. Nibble, 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 nibble. Maverick is now asking you, how do you want to copy your disk? A single drive, dual drives, or a RAM board? Well, a single drive, you have to swap out disk all the time. And if you have 2 disk drives, you can use a dual drive. So what's a RAM board? Well, it sounds like a naughty curse word. Well, a RAM board is an expansion that adds extra RAM or memory to your Commodore 64. More RAM equals more space to temporarily store disk data while copying. A normal copy reads the disk. A nibbler copies everything. But a RAM board nibbler, that remembers the whole disk like a mad scientist. Oh yeah. Now let's get ready to copy our disk. Let's hit copy, but wait, before we go any further, we have to turn on the real 1541 drive. And at the same time, we have to disable our virtual drive 8. So hold on the Commodore and the restore key to go to the menu, then use our cursor keys to go back to where it says built-in drive A, and then we're going to disable that. Now hit the shift and cursor left right one more time to save it. And now is the time to turn the power on your real disk drive. Oh, and don't forget to insert the disk with it too. After our copying is complete, we need to go back to the menu by hitting the Commodore and restore key at the same time. It's also a good time to turn off your real drive now. We don't want any conflicts. After that's done, we're going to go down to built-in drive A and enable it. Oh, and don't forget to save the settings to the flash memory. What we're going to do now is use our cursor keys to navigate up to the disk file browser, and then we're going to find our USB drive that we saved our Maverick files on. We'll enter here, and there they are. The reason why I brought you to this folder instead of running the game is because I already know that the game is not working yet. That is why I chose this game, because I knew it won't work. Wait, hold on a second. Most games, if you use this file here, like we did, it will copy most games. But we have to use something special on this disk. The way it works when you copy the game Aliens is you have to copy it with Maverick first. And after you copy it, then you have to load Maverick again and then use the parameters. These here are the parameter disk. And then this is the executable file. So let's run Maverick again. But this time when we run Maverick, we're not going to copy the disk. We're going to go to the parameter menu. Now we're just going to let this load for a little bit until you come up to this screen here. Now don't do anything. We're going to hit F1 for the parameter disk. We better change our disk now. To do that, hit the Commodore and the restore key at the same time. Now we're in the menu. We now have to choose our parameter disk. We have 5 parameter disks here. Which one do we choose? Well, I just happen to know that Aliens is on parameter disk 1. So we're going to go up to that one. Oh, and make sure, don't run the disk, mount the disk, alright? Once your disk is mounted, now we can press return. So we wait as our computer's loading our files off our disk. And when it's done loading, you're going to see a whole list of games. 5 discs of them. It just so happens that Aliens is like the 5th one down. But before we go to that, let me explain what's going on here. As you highlight each game, to the left it tells you custom instructions on how to copy the game. So if you move down to Age of Adventure, it says to use a single or dual data copier, while Airborne Ranger needs a custom copier, while Alcazar can use a single or a dual data copier. And the same goes for Aliens. So let's click on it, and it's going to load up our parameters so we can apply our patch here. Insert backup. So let's change our disk here. Hit the Commodore restore key, navigate to our internal SD card, and then we're going to attach our Aliens disk. Oh, remember, to mount the disk, not run it. To apply the parameter patch, hit space. Working. It's successful! Well, that's a good thing. Now to press Control-Delete to go to the menu, and I'm going to run it.
Ooh, this is scary music. Hey, wait a second, sounds familiar. I made a video about this video game. If you want to watch it, hit that tab right up here. Alright, let's keep going here. And there's another way to back up your files. Get yourself a little cartridge, an action replay cartridge. So what you do is once you put your disk in the drive and you load up your game, you put this little cartridge in. Oops, I dropped it. Well, you put this little cartridge in and then you press the button on it and it freezes the game. It remembers the whole memory state. Then you can save that memory state onto your drive. You save it on the disk and you can load it up where you left off. Only problem is, it works best if you have games that don't access the disk drive afterwards. But you can still do it. So I'm going to choose this game called Load Runner. Load Runner loads the game. All you have to do is get it froze after the copy protection. I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get it on here.
We'll start off by making an empty disk again. So hit Commodore Restore. Go to the menu. Go to File Browser. Choose your internal SD card. Then hit F1. Create. Let's create a file called Load Runner. That's going to be our game. Let's mount our Load Runner disk image to drive B, which is drive 9. I currently can't find my action replay cartridge, so I'm going to mount an image of my cartridge, and I just so happen to put it in the same USB drive that I stored my Maverick files, so that should be easy to find. I can take this cartridge and I can do one of two things. I could copy it to my flash, and if I did that, every time I reboot the computer, the cartridge would be inserted. Or I could just run the cartridge, but when I turn off the power, the cartridge goes away. Next thing I want to do is turn off the internal drive 8 and turn on the physical drive 8. So hit Commodore Restore to go back to the menu, and we're going to navigate down to the drives here. We have to turn off the virtual drive so we can turn on the real drive. Don't forget to save it. And don't forget to put your disk in the drive too. That'd be a bummer. The time has come now to load your game like you normally would. Load, quote, start, quote, come on, you know the drill. I got some important things to tell you about as you're waiting for this game to load. Keep your finger ready on the freeze button so you can freeze it just at the right moment. If you have a cartridge, the freeze button's on the cartridge. However, if you're using a cartridge image on your Commodore, then you have to hit the rocker switch down just at the right moment. If you miss it just by a little bit, your game, you might have to do it again. It might not function right. Especially with the game Load Runner, because Load Runner, unlike other games, accesses the drive periodically. So you gotta make sure that drive is done. Alright, here it goes. Any second now. Almost there. No, not yet. Or maybe yet. Okay, ready? Almost. Oh, hold on. Right there. Let's see if that works. Once this game is frozen, we want to back up the memory state. We're going to hit F1 to back up. Ooh, look at the pretty colors. That's what it does when it backs up. Once all the pretty colors are done, we want to back up these files to our disk. Hit F1 to change from drive 8 to drive 9. Don't want to put it on the wrong disk. And then we're going to choose, we'll just try standard for now. C, standard. Let's see if that works. It says file name, please. Well, I guess we're going to have to name it Load Runner. Load Runner. Action Replay is now saving a bootable file named Load Runner. It's saving a file that when it loads, it will go right into the memory state where you left it. And because the copy protection was at the beginning of the Load Runner disk, every time you load this game, it will run because you bypassed the copy protection. The next problem we have to overcome is the game automatically loads the level from the disk every time you change boards. How are we going to figure that out? Well, I got an idea. How about we use the file copier on Maverick to copy the remaining files on the original disk onto our virtual disk? Then, when it accesses the file, it will be able to load my Load Runner boards because the copy protection was at the beginning of the disk. Let's go back into the menu now. We're going to turn off the real drive 8 and enable the virtual drive 8. And then we're going to go over and load Maverick. So we have to put that on the virtual drive 8. Now to hit run here. Once Maverick's up and running, we're going to go over to the quick file copier. Our source disk is going to be 8 and our destination disk is going to be 9. So make sure you don't get those backwards here. After that, we have to swap disk again. So we have to disable the internal drive 8 and enable the real drive 8. So let's do that. Make sure your disk is in. Oh, and don't forget to turn on the power on your real disk drive. Well, I think we're ready to hit the copy files now. So let's do this. Looks like there's only 3 files on this disk. All we have to do is hit space to select them and C to copy them over. So let's do that. What you're seeing here is Maverick is copying all the files on the source disk onto memory. And when that's full, it's going to write those files onto the destination disk. So you'll see each file drop off. Go ahead and turn the power button off the physical disk drive now. And then we're going to go into the menu and we're going to turn on the virtual disk drive and we're going to run our Load Runner game. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Since we're loading an image instead of the real disk, it's not going to say put joystick in port 2 like it did before. It's just going to go right into the image.
We're getting ready to play this game for the first time. Oh, by the way, I made a video about this game. Just touch that little card up there. Okay, let's get ready to play this. And if I do this right, I hit the button, and it should load off the virtual disk on the drive. Because we copied the files over. That way you can have a snapshot image and the game. Okay, ready? You hear that? Oh! Too bad I don't have any speakers on this game. Go! Oh, it's going that way. Up! Oh! Don't get these guys. Go, go, go! Ooh! Oh! Ah! I don't like it when I die. You're gonna get it. Well, I hope you like my video. If you like it, leave a comment in the comment section below. Below. Otherwise, give it a like. Until then, I will see you later. Couch potato. Oh, couch potato. I'm kind of hungry for potatoes.